first question is, can you tell me a little about yourself?
Okay, well, Simon, as you know, I'm an English teacher and I have been working here at the university for more than 10 years. I work with students who are in different academic programs. Um, so, yeah, I have worked with children too and with adults. So, I have like a wide experience in terms of um, different populations. That's about me. I'm from Cali. What else? I have been living in Pereira for more than 20 years. I studied here, the same program you are right now doing right now. I studied the program and I got graduated in 2013.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you so much.
Okay.
How do you integrate the technology into your English lessons?
Buenas tardes. Well, that's very interesting because nowadays technology is really important in our classes, you know. But technology is not something new for students. Technology is part of our lives. I mean, so in the past, probably 5 or 8 years ago, we used to think that including the use of phones or the projector or the QR codes in the classroom was like the most advanced thing in terms of technology. Nowadays, the way that I try to include technology in my class, first of all, I don't include it. Technology is part of my class. So we have a platform, we use Google Classroom all the time, we use different platforms or web pages like Kahoot, like quizzes, but lately I am more into putting technology away for a bit in the classroom because, as I mentioned before, students are used to technology all the time. So I like my classes like a moment of the day where they can really use their minds, they can really use the language they know, and sometimes I include technology in the ways I mentioned, like using different platforms, different games. So yeah, basically that's the way.
It's based on a new experience
Yeah.
with the technology.
Yes, like something different or extra for the things they already know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. How do you promote cultural understanding?
Well, first of all, you know, when we are learning a language, it's not only the grammatical structure or the vocabulary, it's also the fact that we are learning about that culture. So, for example, this is a course one. What I do is to try to include cultural aspects in the classes, like teaching students how things are experienced in these cold countries, not only United States or England, because that's also like a myth that the students have. Like those are the only two countries where people speak English, but we also have other countries. I like to expose my students to different accents. Like this is the British accent, this is American, but this is also Canadian and Australian, so different accents, you know. But for me, it is also very important to create an awareness or an environment in which they understand their own culture as well. So if we are talking about food, for example, if they are learning about quantifiers or stuff like that, so we describe a Colombian dish, but also we describe a typical dish from Australia, so like trying to include everything a little bit.
How do you create balance between grammar and practice?
Okay. The main goal for me is that people who are willing to learn a language, that they can communicate, you know, through speaking or by writing a message or something like that. So I think the communicative approach in this case provides an experience like a realistic experience to people. But grammar is also important, and content is also necessary. So what we usually do is try to include a little bit of everything. So, for example, in this unit we were working about understanding the present simple and how to use the adverbs of frequency and how to understand like the subject-verb agreement when writing sentences, etc. So what I do is that I provide students some examples, like grammatic in terms of grammar, you know. But then they need to communicate something with that. So we learn the vocabulary. Through the vocabulary exposure, they can learn the grammar. I don't do it like very explicitly. It is more like implicitly. And then they need to answer questions about it, like if they learn vocabulary like go for a jog or go for a walk. So at the end of the class we always have like a mini conversation moment like everyone. So they have to communicate or produce something with the language.
Okay, so interesting. The last question is, can you tell me about an experience like a teacher?
Like a good experience
Yeah.
or a challenging experience? Any experience? My favorite experience, probably. Well, as I mentioned, Simone, I have been working as a teacher since I was 19 years old. So I have had a lot of experiences, nice experiences, frustrating experiences as well. But the things that I enjoy the most is to see when my students learn. Here at this university, students are not very comfortable with language, especially English, because it's a requirement. So, like the most favorite aspect for me about teaching these people is to see when they start getting motivated with the classes, with the language, and when they see or feel that they are learning. So a person who doesn't know anything, who doesn't know the alphabet or like anything about English, and then they start developing some basic skills about the language, learning vocabulary. That's my favorite moment, because that's when I realized that all the work, all the planning, the preparation for the classes, and the effort that teachers, that we do to be here in a classroom, that's when you know that they are worth it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.